Hello there, my name's Claire. Welcome back to my channel. Happy St. Patrick's Day, first of all. This is a home designed for the zodiac sign Pisces. This is the last build in the series I have done this past year, where each month I have built a home for one of the different zodiac signs, and I have created a playlist if you want to look back on my past builds. And so this is a beach house. It is a 1 bedroom, 2 bathroom home, and it is a beach house because that is what Pinterest suggested for me to build. I have tried to do different architectural styles with each of these zodiac signs, but some of them might have been a little bit similar. I do feel like I need to go back to some of these zodiac homes and kind of like do a do-over with like knowing that a little bit more about the certain zodiac signs. For example, the first one I did was Aries, and I feel like I got the color scheme so wrong in that build, and I feel like I could do a little bit better, but now that I have done a little bit more research into zodiac signs. But for this beach house, I was trying to have a good balance of whimsy items and like more traditional beach house items. I wanted to have a lot of like colorful wallpaper and paint on the walls, and so I was originally going to have the kitchen on that like far right side, but I didn't realize how like awkward it was shaped to be, and so I decided to make a hidden library room for this sim to kind of like hide from their reality, and that they can just like fantasize themselves easier in the book that they're reading. And I did get the cool new bookshelf that is a door from the new like battle pass that came with the new royalty pack. So we have a few more royalty themed items in the game, even if we don't have the pack currently. I am hoping to get it, but I'm also hoping to get it when it's on sale. I'm trying to be smart with my money and wait for packs to go on sale. I've been really wanting to get the fairy pack, but I have not yet seen it on a good enough price for my standards. So anyway, we are just in the kitchen and going to be making this cute little kitchen over here in this corner. It does have access to a large deck in the back, and there is also a deck in the front of the home as well. I did get some inspiration from Pinterest for this home. I just kind of searched beach houses, and then I saw this one, and I'm like, you know what? I want to do that in The Sims for this week's video. So we're going to be having a formal living room up here, and I don't usually do formal living rooms, so this was kind of fun to have this like formal living room, and then like where the TV would be, it's like the door, so it's like you're looking at nature. So I thought that was like kind of fun. So we're just going to be adding the same rug that is in the dining room area. Thought I would just keep it consistent. So we're just going to be adding some pictures now, and I am going to be using a lot of pictures from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack because it has a lot of coastal items. And I wasn't trying to go like super beachy. I was trying to go for more like oceans, not so much like anchors and nautical. So we're just going to be adding some items onto the front deck now, and this deck kind of gives a little bit of like shade to the garage below, which is nice because your Sims do have the ability to paint on the garage. There is no ability to park your car in the garage, but I was imagining that the Sim would be creative, similar to the information I found online about Pisces, and so we are just going to be adding a chess table, making a little seating area. I do have this little table that has hot cocoa on it, but I was imagining it would be a lemonade stand, and then like the little marshmallows would be like sugar cubes. So we're just going to be adding a pretty little flower pot and going to be adding that lemonade stand, which is technically the hot cocoa stand. And before we head into the secret library room, we're going to be out here on the back deck making a little dining area out here. So this area is very simple with the grill, picnic table, and I do add a pet bed for the sim to have a cat or a dog. And I do also add these curtains from the City Living pack. I don't know why, but to me they look kind of like giant wind chimes, and so I wanted to have them out here for wind chime noises, even though that's not technically the purpose. So we're just going to be adding some pet beds throughout the home, and I do have a cat tree on the first level. This is technically at the second level, even though this is the level that your Sims enter on. Again, I was going off of a image I saw on Pinterest, and I kind of liked this idea. And I also don't have a like exterior gate, so your Sims have to go through this door. But if you don't want your Sims to like be going up and down all of the stairs all the time, you can like get rid of some of the hedging around the fence and then add your own gate. I was just afraid that the front door wouldn't like respond as a front door since it's technically on the second floor. So now we are in the secret library room. I'm going to be adding a little cozy couch. I use this one from high school years because of the thrown over blanket. I really do think it'd be fun to like have a blanket item similar to like those like adjustable pillows, but it's like we can like adjust where the blanket goes and if it's on this couch or a different couch. And so we're just going to be adding a rug and some books onto the shelves. It's a very easy and simple room to do. I feel like this is like the funnest room in the house because it is a secret library. So we're just going to be adding a little bit of art on the walls, and I do use these like posters from the City Living pack where they're kind of like the city festival posters. So before we head down to the first level, we are going to be adding some curtains, and right here we are at the bottom of the stairs, and I make a little seating area for your Sims. I just honestly didn't know what else to put in this area, and so I have a little drop zone almost, and going to be adding a little seating area. So that's like the first thing you will see as your Sims come down the stairs, and we're just going to be finding some decorations for the drop zone on this first level. This was kind of hard to do because I did make something similar to this on the second level where your Sims would enter from, and that's kind of more of like a drop zone where they put their keys and their shoes. So here we're going to be putting a little seating area. I just wanted to make a nice little cozy seating area, kind of more for like a nice cozy book reading area perhaps. And so this is the last zodiac sign, and I am curious if you want me to continue doing this series of homes based off of zodiac signs. Let me know down in the comments. I tried to keep this series similar with doing all of these homes on the same lot in the world of Newcrest, but maybe if I were to redo this series, I would do homes based off of different locations that the home design can better fit. And so we're just going now into the TV room, since above there is a formal room. I was thinking that this area would be more of a den with the TV, and so there is a garage on the other side where the TV is, and so I didn't want to put another garage on this side. I did consider it, and I almost did go through with like that floor plan, but I was thinking it would be more beneficial to have a TV room instead of like a closed in garage where they would park their car, especially since cars aren't functional in The Sims. Probably will never get functional cars in The Sims, but we do have fake cars, and I got the fake car in front of this home off of the Sims 4 gallery. I just typed in car, and then all of these people who have searched through the Sims 4 debug have put the cars on the gallery, and so it makes it easier for me at least to not be scrolling through the Sims 4 debug where there are so many items. And if you're not familiar with the Sims 4 debug, it is basically all of the hidden items that you can't like normally build with, but they're still in the game and you can still access it. It just takes a little bit more elbow grease and a little bit more work to find. And so I personally don't like using the debug, and so hopefully if The Sims 5 ever happens, they kind of change that feature and like just give us access to all of these items, because there's some items where you have to like unlock a certain skill to like use it, like with the nifty knitting hack. You have to make your Sims actually knit the rug or knit the stuffed animal, so you can either sell it or like put it in your own Sims house. But it'd be nice if you could just put it in your Sims house without having to use a cheat. So we're just going to be adding some artwork now. I do have that fish picture. It's on purpose. It's kind of random, but this fish picture is to kind of help represent the sign of Pisces, which is two fish swimming in opposite directions. So we are just in this half bath. It is the same size as when I normally do a full bath, but since there could possibly be a cat in this home, I wanted to make sure that there was space for a litter box. And originally I wasn't planning on having a cat, but because of last week's video, I made space for a cat. So this one was going to be for a dog owner, but I decided I could have room for both a cat and a dog in this home. So we're just going to be adding this mural that is, I guess, technically just a giant poster, but it looks like the Sim like painted it on the wall, and so I kind of liked that look. So we're just going to be heading into the artist studio for this home. Like I said earlier, the information I got offline says that Pisces are creative, and so I wanted to make a art room also with using the city living pack. There is a lot of great art items like the wall mural item and the bucket of paint that you saw me put down a little bit ago. And I wanted to have like an actual office space in this home, and so there is a computer for the Sim to do their work, and we're just going to be adding another cat tree in this room so the cat can be close and watch out the window or watch the Sim do their painting. And we're just going to be making a little bit of like a mood board for the Sim. That's what I was intending it to be, is just kind of like them gathering some like inspiration for them to work on the mural. So we're just going to be adding just kind of a blank wallpaper behind the mural, so your Sims have a nice fresh clean slate for them to work on. And we're just going to be now heading into the backyard, which is very small. This is built on, I think, a 20 by 15 lot, and so backyard was pretty cozy, but I think it was kind of turned out fine. If you do want to play in this home, you can find all the information down in the description, like the number of packs I used and the total value for this home. And while you're down there, and if you haven't yet, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you so much to those who have hit the subscribe button. It does mean so much to me to have this little channel grow so big, and I just can't thank you enough. And if you enjoyed watching or do enjoy watching my content, you can share my videos and just give this video a like. That really does help my channel grow and give more people to see my videos, because that's how the YouTube algorithm is currently working, is with the engagement of liking videos, commenting down below. So we're just going to be now in the one and only bedroom. I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but this home can sleep up to 2 Sims and has room for 2 pets. And so now we're just going to be working on the gallery wall to kind of hide the picture frame TV, and going to just be using a lot of that kind of more like vintage or old world art for the gallery wall. We're just going to be adding a mirror, very simple bedroom in the space. I do add a larger pet bed in the corner. I feel like this room, again, this is very cute and cozy, and that's what I was going for like the whole entire home, was like bright and cute and cozy. So we're just going to be adding a picture to finish up this room, and we're also going to be adding a rug from the Cats and Dogs pack. I wanted to use this bed from the high school years pack just because it kind of felt like a fantasy bed, almost like a pretty princess bed. And so we're just going to be now in the final space of the house, which is the ensuite bathroom. And I'm pretty sure Google Gemini gave me this idea to have a soaking tub in the bathroom, but I wanted to like do this and soaking tub idea, and this bathroom actually turned out pretty cool, and I think it's one of my favorite bathrooms that I have done. So we're just going to be adding a little counter area for the sink to go, and going to be adding a shower, and that shower kind of like changed the floor plan a little bit, but that bathtub stays in the same spot. And I wanted to have a bathtub because Pisces is a water sign, so we're just going to be doing a little bit more rearranging. It did take me a few tries to like get it how I wanted it to be, so we're just going to be finishing up this bathroom with some rungs. I do add a little artwork above the bathtub, and we're just going to be finishing up, getting close to the screenshots. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to do all of the YouTube things, and if you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments. My gallery ID is green_rose_sims if you want to play in this home, and I'll see you all next week for another Sims 4 video, and I hope you all have a good St. Patrick's Day. Bye!